Alright guys, so it's neither positive nor negative. Well, I guess you could say it is a bit positive. You know, this thing in the beginning rode like crap in the beginning, you know, from the day I picked it up, brought it back down here, rode like crap. I'm not gonna sit here and sugarcoat it, you know, but this is my last run for tonight. I'm not gonna be out until 8:30, 9 o'clock. But, I mean, just gently accelerating, the thing is amazing. It's awesome. You can't even tell there's anything wrong with it. Can't tell it has a boost leak. Goes through all the gears just fine. So let's get down. I can hear the boost leaking up there in that cold line, cold side. But once it shifts, it's gonna pull hard. It's almost about to shift, and then it's pulling hard. So yeah, once I get this boost leak squared away, I should be absolutely fine. I bet you that cack pipe, the holes that I were able to find, I bet you there's more there than what I'm able to see. It's just so nasty. I probably filled in the holes, you know, or the cracks, because it's mainly on that bellowed area. You know, but I was able to find, I believe, 4 cracks / holes. So, you know, it could be a lot more than that, and that was just what I was able to see. But I mean, yeah, I'm not even really trying to do that, and it's just, it gets better and better, you know. It's not falling on its face as much as it was. And I do know that I kind of wrapped up certain areas, but certain areas just popped. You know, it's not like I wrapped it 10, 12 times and made a very thick barrier. You know, the old saying, if you can't duck it, fuck it. But yeah, yeah, I probably sealed up some of the really small cracks. But again, the faster you go, the more boost you're building. The more boost you build, the more pressure is pressed against that. And so I'm losing a lot of potential air that should be crammed into the engine, whereas I'm just venting it into the atmosphere. So again, it's falling on its face. So I know I may not be able to get the boost pipe next week. I'm not sure, but the week after, I'm definitely getting it. I may be able to get it next week. I have a budget. You know, it's not like I'm living on my own, or if it's just me and my wife. It's my wife and I, our son and our daughter. And my kids come first, plain and simple. I love this truck, don't get me wrong, but my kids' health and their enjoyment in life, that's more important than a fucking truck. That's, sorry. I understand that this channel is about, you know, diesel trucks. But my kids' happiness and well-being are more important to me than these trucks. So, I mean, that's just the parent in me talking. You know, yes, the kid in me comes out when I get down and get rowdy on this truck, and even with my 7.3. I mean, don't get me wrong. My 7.3 is not a normal 7.3, and I haven't even done anything to it. You know, I just try and keep it as maintained as I possibly can. But that 7.3 will get down. It will. Do not let it fool you. It's not, I've seen a couple of people's 7.3s, you know, where, yeah, it takes 7 to 10 business days for it to get up from 0 to 60. Mine, it takes a business day to get it from 0 to 60. It's not a rocket. It ain't as fast as this. This has potential. This has a lot of potential. You know, this ain't even running right, and it's already starting to get faster than my 7.3. I will admit that. So, and by the way, guys, so my supervisor, like I said, his work truck is the 6.4 liter. I read the tag on it. So, the information tag on these 6.0s are on the passenger side valve cover. The 6.4 information tag is on the driver's side valve cover. Now, for those of you that already know this, this is not going to come as a surprise, but I didn't know this. So from the factory, the 6.0s came with 325 horses, right? The 6.4 liter has 25 horses more. That's right, 350 horses. And it came with a plethora of more problems than these 6.0s did. You maintain a 6.0 and you do it right, it is reliable. You have those that have 6.0s with 400,000, 500,000 miles. So if I can get 200,000 more miles, 150,000 to 200,000 more miles out of this engine, I'll be elated. You know, once I get this engine squared away. And I think mainly the issue with this is I'm venting a lot of power, a lot of boost into the atmosphere. So, you know, once I get the cack pipe replaced, I'm moving on to the next thing. I will be replacing the, what do you call it? Darn it, can't think right now. Glow plugs. I think I have like 5 or 6 glow plug codes on here. You can go back and look at one of my other videos. I'm probably going to do the same myself when I get home and edit this video. Once I get this one posted, I'll probably go back and see how many glow plug codes I have. But I want to replace the glow plugs as well as the harness. And I found a well-known good glow plug module for 30 bucks, and it is OEM. I mean, it's pre-owned, but it's 30 bucks. It works. So if replacing the glow plugs and the harness does not fix the problem, then I'll go ahead and get that control module for 30 bucks, and we'll call that a good a day. But yeah, this is my last run. Once I pass this guy's driveway, it's just like a half a mile to, it may not be a half mile, but it's a pretty good long straight stretch right here where I don't have to worry about anyone coming out. So here we go. See, I'm losing a lot of boost, but once it gets up to speed and it shifts, come on. Yeah, I'm losing a lot of boost. I'm not hardly building anything. Come on. That boost is building. And when it builds, there we go. See? So from what I was able to gather from that run, I wasn't hardly building any boost because I was losing a lot of it into the atmosphere. But as I kept going faster and faster, and I was building more and more boost, it was making so much boost that there was, you know, yes, it was still being vented into the atmosphere, but there was so much boost going into the engine that it was just taking off. So I feel like once I replace this cold side with a metal pipe, I mean, it's over, man. I mean, this is gonna be it's gonna run a lot better. You know, it may not run 100% better, but it's gonna run, I guarantee you, at least 60, 70, 80% better than it does now. And I would trust this truck to go back and forth to work on right now. I mean, hell, I drove it all the way from Little Rock down to here, which that was 114 miles. So, you know, yes, I was worried that it could have broken down at any time, but I mean, would I drive this truck back to Little Rock? Currently, right now, no. Once I replace the pipe, yes. Even with the code, you know, balancing contribution, yes, I'd still drive it all the way up to Little Rock with that code. All I got to do is keep putting, you know, fuel additives in here, let it keep clearing out. And again, in 1.5, 2 weeks, if it doesn't clear, I'll just replace the injector. That's got to be all it is. When I stop, since this is fully warmed up engine, I mean, I'm gonna let it run and cool down anyway. You know, you never shut off a diesel engine as soon as you stop, especially after you ran it hard. So I'm gonna pull over, or I'm gonna get parked. So I'm gonna get off of here, park, and then get the hood up, and we're gonna check for blow-by, and we're gonna check and see if the degas bottle kept that water in here, or if it's all been ran out and gone somewhere that I don't know where it is. So I'll be right back. Alright guys, so I got it parked. So now I'm gonna lift the hood, and we're checking for two things. We're checking the degas bottle, make sure it still has water in it. And then we're also checking, if I can get the thing open, geez. We're also checking to see if there's blow-by in the oil. So, and I do have the hood support strut thingies coming in. I've already ordered those, so I'm just waiting for them to get here. So it'll be a lot easier opening and closing this hood. So let's see if we've got blow-by. No. I have no blow-by whatsoever. Look at that. I have vibration, which is moving the cap, but look, I can hold it right there. Well, like, look, let me hold it like this. I'm not holding the top, I'm just holding the sides so it doesn't vibrate off. But yeah, there's no blow-by on this engine. Now let's go to the other side of the engine, and there's that information I was telling you about on this side, and then on my supervisor's truck on the 6.4, it's actually on that side. But you know what, just for giggles, let's check and see if there's any blow-by coming out of the dipstick. No, there's not. Let's check the oil. I know you don't check oil when it's running, but if the water that I put in here was mixing in here, it would have looked like milkshake. There's no milkshake. There's no froth. You're gonna have to take my word for it, but it does not smell like diesel. So the diesel is not getting into the crankcase. And I don't see any oil in this degas bottle. Let me see here. And that's exactly, oh, there we go. That's exactly where I put the water in here. So I'm gonna open this, and if I get sprayed, it's my own dumbass fault. Okay, so as you can see, I don't have any gas bubbles or air bubbles or anything like that. So I don't have an EGR cooler. My EGR cooler is not damaged. This is not tight, so that means that the thermostat has opened up, and that's why when I opened that it didn't splash me in the face, because it's actually currently circulating throughout the system. The thermostat's open, therefore there's no pressure in the system right now. So from everything that was explained to me, plus everything that I understand, you know, there's everything looks great. Let's come over here. It just sounds like regular idling. And this is still the passenger side. Now what I do see that I don't like, if I understand right, this right here, down in there, that is the glow plug. Module. I don't think that's the Fickum. I'll have to look further into it, but I do see one wire that's coated in oil or something like that. I mean, it may just need to be cleaned. And I am getting a new cap to go on here because that looks like it got ate up. And it's fun. I'm wondering if this is common amongst diesels, because my 7.3, I actually bought a new cap off eBay because the cap looked just like that. So I wonder if over time they just start getting brittle and collapsing in on itself. But I mean, the engine sounds amazing. It sounds a lot better than the day I got the truck. So, I mean, I'm not seeing an issue. I'm not hearing an issue. And if you look down in there, there's the cack pipe. And I can see the damage. Well, I say damage, but I can see where the duct tape blew off, where I had it wrapped up, and I see a bunch of oil. And that would explain why this is covered in oil. So that cack pipe is just blowing the pressure, the boost, all up underneath this hood. And as you can see, if you look, most of the damage on this fire retardant under the hood liner is right here. That's where that boost has been blowing up on it. But I mean, everything sounds great. So I'm just gonna take it one step at a time. Step one, replace this plastic pipe. By the way, you should not be able to squeeze a pipe like that. It's gotten warm underneath this hood, so I can squeeze the hell out of this pipe very easily. Shouldn't be able to do that. I love Ford, but they messed up by making that plastic. But anyway, I'm replacing this first. That's numero uno. So that, and then I'm also replacing these boots on the hot side, because I could have a leak on the boot on the hot side. I don't know. So I'll get that changed out, and then dive a little deeper into the go ahead and let this hood down. I'll dive a little bit deeper into the injector issue, but I'm also looking at replacing that Y pipe that goes into the that comes from the exhaust and goes into the turbo. So I'm gonna look into getting another Y pipe for this. Just like I replaced the up pipes on the 7.3, and because I had a bad boost leak and it was coming from my up pipes. I was not making as much boost as I could, and now that truck makes all the boost in the world you could think of that's not modified. I am not modifying this truck. engine wise, I'm happy with my 250 or 270 horses. But this bad boy right here, I'm going to be happy with the factory 325. I'm not needing the programmer. I don't need to turn it up. I don't need any of that. I'm only doing one modification to this dash, since it came with this little gauge holder right here. The only thing I need, since the factory, they decided to give me a boost gauge, which I think is awesome, or a turbo PSI gauge, and I got everything else I need. I can see if it's overheating, I can see if the transmission's overheating, and I've got my fuel, and I've got my oil pressure, I've got my tachometer, and my speed. So the only thing I want to know are what are my EGTs, my exhaust gas temperatures. So I will get an exhaust gas temperature gauge and hook that up and make, instead of just pulling this out, make use of this bad boy right here. So as always, guys, I appreciate each and every single one of you. We'll eventually get through this. I mean, we did the same with the 7.3. If you go back, for those that are new, if you go back and look at my earlier videos, they're cringe-worthy, of course, but that 7.3 has come a long way, and it even has potential to go even further than where it is now. But it's okay where it is. It needs a little bit of TLC, but it gets me back and forth to work just fine. So really, I want to start on this and see where it can go. As always, guys, thanks for watching. More updates to come. Later, Gators.